Hello. Hi. We're live on YouTube tonight with four of my friends. We've got Kat, Crystal, Karen, and Valerie. And we're going to answer your questions about reselling for the next hour or so. As long as you keep them coming in the chat, we'll keep answering your questions. So throw them in there if you have them, and we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves to y'all. We'll start with Kat.
Me. I am Kat, the nurse flipper. I have been full-time since 2022, but I've been reselling since 99, and I sell everything, and I do eBay, Posh, Mercari, Etsy, and whatnot. I think that's...
I'm Crystal. I live up in North Dakota. I'm a full-time seller since 2019, and I am trying to just not freeze up here is all. But I have a warehouse here, a small team, and we try to keep things clipping along every day.
And hi, I'm Karen, and I'm from Pittsburgh. I live next to Star, not too far away. And I started my career on eBay, and that was almost 30 years ago. I've been on eBay. I have been on Poshmark. I'm on Whatnot. I'm on Etsy. And I was on Walmart and Amazon, but I am backing way off from that. And I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight.
All right, Star, are you going to introduce yourself, or is it on to me?
I'll go last. No one cares about me.
I'm Valerie. My shop is called Re.retail. I live in Atlanta, and I work full-time, but I also put in pretty much full-time hours reselling eBay, Posh, Depop, Mercari, Etsy, and then I sell live on Fridays with Kieran and Star and some of the other ladies from 10th and Main.
Hi, I'm Star. If you don't know me, I mean, you're on my channel, but maybe you followed somebody here. I've been reselling since 2017, full-time, not by choice. I became disabled at work, and I had to sink or swim. So I stole my boyfriend's business and built it into my full-time business, and he did it with me for a while until he didn't like it anymore, and so he's an accountant now, and I do it all alone. I'm about half the size of Crystal and Kat. I don't have employees because I don't want to be on Dateline. I guess that's all there is to say about me. I don't play well with others. No, I do. So let's see. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. If not, I am going to start with some of the ones I have prepared for these ladies. I won't be answering all the questions tonight because there's 5 of us, and you guys hear me talk all the time. So we'll start with this one. I like this one a lot. How do you deal with burnout?
Oh, we had this last week. For me and a lot of us, I think if it pays the bills, it's really hard because you have to push through it. Take a break for us. Go outside. We have dirt roads. We go riding on dirt roads. I live in the middle of nowhere. And buying stuff is all that's a bad thing. Burnout from having too much stuff, and the answer is buying more stuff. But I think finding stuff and new stuff helps. And yeah, I think if you're part-time though, take a break, take a few days off. Yeah, the work-life balance has been one of my biggest things this year, and I still am not doing great at it because I'm a workaholic and have to make myself take a break. So like I'm scheduling like stuff to do with family, because if I don't, I just work. That's just what I do. And it's hard when you work from home because it's always there. So it's really easy to just do that. And yeah, so for me, getting outside, going now in the summer and in Florida, I will go out on the boat a lot. I do that, but not when it's in the 20s this week in Florida. Our highs are 40s and 50s this week. So no boating this week.
I think for myself, I really love reselling. And so it took a long time of working 60 or 80 hours a week building up my business to ever feel even a little tired of it. But eventually it set in. And for me at that time, that was maybe 2 or 3 years into reselling. I had to just take time to spend with friends and make sure I was getting all my kids' things that I had scheduled. I think just scheduling time outside of reselling to do something totally unrelated to it helps. Having a chance to go to, and it's still reselling related, but to go to events where other resellers are, I think has really helped me just feel reinvigorated for what I'm doing and be able to connect with other people, get ideas from other people, learn from other sellers, people that maybe haven't been doing it very long, or our friend Susie, who's in the chat, who's been doing this since 1998 or 1997, whatever it was, so to learn things from other people. And we spend a lot of time on our own as sellers, so it's good to just get energy from others. And so I try to make that a priority to go to those events when they have them. And then also, I moved this business out of my home about 2.5 years ago to a space that's offsite. And that really helped me draw some healthy boundaries between work and personal life. I used to work all night every weekend. And now that it's a 7-minute drive, which isn't very far, but it helps me separate work from my personal life. And so I don't experience burnout as much as I once did. I think that helps. So those are a couple things that I do.
And I have so many different things going on. And sometimes I do work 7 days a week, which is really bad. And I just get overwhelmed more than anything. And when I get super overwhelmed, I just shut down. And I kind of chill out. I'll shut everything off. I won't answer any emails. I won't look at any of the platforms for a while. And then I'll just sit down and I'll just watch some television, because I very rarely just sit down and watch anything straight through. And when the weather's nice, I'll go sit on my back porch and I have some pretty landscaping and I'll watch the birds and the bunnies. But now when you have 17 inches of snow and can't get out of your back door, it's really difficult to do anything. But I will just shut down, and it's bad, and I shouldn't be doing 7 days a week. That is really bad. And one of the reasons that I'm backing off from Walmart and Amazon is because it's just, there's just so many things. It just got too overwhelming. Just put it with all the different rules, all the different changes. You always have to ship. You have to have customer service, and I've had really good metrics with it. And I just kind of burned out on them. So I've really backed off, and I'm feeling much better that I'm not doing them as much. And I'm devoting more time to eBay and to Poshmark now.
Same as everyone else. It's like definitely taking time to schedule yourself to be with friends and family. And then honestly, the little reselling community that we have, I can gripe and complain to these ladies, and they know what I'm experiencing and going through. So having that group of people, and honestly, since I work full time, I get more burnt out doing that, because this is like my baby. I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to scale it. So I enjoy this part of it. So I do work 7 days a week with the reselling, but it's different because this is, what I'm trying to grow for future. So I can leave full-time job one day and get to doing what these ladies do full-time. And I haven't done it much in the last year, but previously I'm big into hiking, big into camping. I've got my dog and I've got a foster dog. So day to day, just taking them both on independent walks. And then sometimes I would walk them together. I mean, just leaving here, because I do work from home as well. So when you're sitting here or sitting at the couch all the time, it's just a change of space, a change of landscape, and just moving your body just helps me. So.
Okay, before I ask any more questions, I do need to ask Crystal, do you do any live sales?
I have done a couple of Posh shows. I found that it disrupts my workflow so badly to prepare for a live sale that I can't produce what I need to, to feed the machine on all the platforms and prepare for a live show. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So for those of you in here, and I know you do, all live sell, I need some tips.
All right. Well, I was going to ask a live sale question, so I will ask this and then I'll answer this one too. How do you schedule in your routines and work live shows while still listing?
So this is something this year that I've had to do. I had an employee that was doing live sales for me last year. She quit in September. And so I didn't have any live sales from September till the end of the year. And at the beginning of the year, I had to decide, am I going to do it or are we not? And I have just started scheduling them, and that forces me to do them. I did have to reschedule 2 last week. I was sick, but I accidentally scheduled 9 days in a row. And anybody who knows me, I am like all in no matter what I do. That's just me. And a lot of times it's too much. And last time with Whatnot was doing 5 days a week and got burnt out. This time I haven't though. Because I've been making such good progress and I see the empty space. It is really motivating me. So for me, I scheduled it. And basically I do my listing and then I'm like, okay, I got to stop. And now I will tell you, as far as the preparing for a live show, that was one of my, like, me and my employee that did it. That was one of our hurting points. I don't even know how to say it. She would take 4 to 5 hours to prepare for a live show. And I will literally throw things on the table and go. But she is OCD and I am not. So for me, as long as I have the tools to keep it in order so I know what my orders are, I literally can grab a box and go. Because I list it as I'm going. Now, like tonight's show, I did license plates. So I moved it from eBay inventory over to Whatnot, which was nice. It was already cataloged. I used List Perfectly to move it over. And that one, everything was cataloged, and it works well for the license plates, but I don't catalog anything else because I found, like, if I have a bad show and I didn't prep for it, I really have no time into it, So if I run for 30 minutes or an hour and like am not making much sales, I'll stop and say, okay, I'm going to go back to listing, and because that's more money. And I don't have 2 hours into cataloging or prepping for it, and then I didn't make any sales. So I found not cataloging and just running it. But I do I'll do jewelry or I'll do collectibles. We do salt and pepper. So I do categorize it when I do it. The collectibles is all over the place, and I'm randomly pulling from boxes. Because I did house clean out. So I have a ton of stuff. And I'm starting everything at $3. And yeah, so I just schedule the shows and I make myself, like, I have to do it. It's like, okay, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm listing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I stop it. I do my live show. Now I might do a short, like tonight, I only did an hour show because I knew I had the podcast. I could have kept going, but I didn't. My salt and pepper shakers have been 5-hour shows because I've sold 150 to 180 pairs a show. And I've been averaging like $200 to $300 in sales an hour. And yeah, we with Whatnot, Whatnot is close to eBay. In January, I have almost doubled my income. Our sales are almost at $40,000 for the month, and there's only 2 of us, me and one employee. So, yeah, I'm trying to pay down debt and get rid of stuff. Those are my 2 main driving points for the live sales. So people are getting good deals, and I think that's the key with live sales too. But there are people that like the catalog shows. There are people that don't. Like, I personally, if I go to a show, I want it cataloged, even though I'm doing non-catalog shows. I would rather see what they have, tell them what I want to buy, get it, and leave. I don't have the patience to sit through shows like mine, but there are people that like all different kinds of shows. So, I mean, I think you just gotta find your people. And if you don't have the time to get ready, just free flow it is what and you know what, Pete, like if I'm doing necklaces and they're bidding, I'm going to keep showing them more necklaces. I'm not going to switch up to brooches, you know? Now, if they quit bidding on necklaces, I might switch to brooches, or I might switch to bracelets, or if somebody asked, I'll switch too. And then the same thing with the collectibles. If I'm going through stuff and I see somebody likes owls and I know I've got more owls, you know, in the box, I'm going to dig and pull the owls out while I have an owl buyer in the chat. So I think just paying attention to your audience and what they want is important too. So that I totally went off in left field. I do that a lot. Sorry.
That's fine. Karen?
Okay, when it comes to live sales, I love Whatnot, but I do a lot of jewelry and Whatnot. I'll do purses. Occasionally, if I get a bunch of cosmetics, I'll do that. And I did a garage sale on it, and actually did okay on the garage sale. That was my first time I've done that. But what I do is I have, like, especially with the jewelry, I have different boxes sitting next to me, and I sort into them by price point. Like, these are going to be, sometimes I just blow things out for $1. I just want to get rid of them. So I have my dollar box. I have my really good box. I have a gold box sitting here because I'm doing a gold show on, not a real gold, a gold tone show on next Tuesday. And as I get the jewelry in, I just kind of put it in boxes, and I've learned to do that, and it saves me so much time. I won't categorize and list. I used to do that. It just takes so much time, especially if you're just selling like $3 to $5 items. It's just not worth all the time to do it. And just like Kat said, if brooches are hot that night, you're going to pull every single brooch out that you're selling. If people want high end, you're going to dig out from my box here. I got a box of high end. I got a tote full of sterling. Whatever they want, I am going to give them. And that has really helped me by pre-sorting everything out and kind of having it sitting here on the floor waiting for the show to go live. And it just depends. I try to be consistent on the days that I do go live. And I've been going live Saturday nights. But I've also done eBay Live. And I actually love eBay Live. Absolutely love that. So between Whatnot and eBay Live, right now I am loving eBay Live more than Whatnot. I'm just plugging away at it, and I do enjoy it. It's very enjoyable, and it's very like a de-stressor for me. Like I have a clientele actually on both sites now, and it's just like we talk, like we chat, we talk, and I talk about everything. Star's been in my Whatnot shows, and you never know what we're gonna talk about. It's unbelievable.
No, that was wild. They were talking about menopause.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah, really.
We talk about anything and everything, But that's how I handle the live shows.
Valerie?
Well, I don't do Whatnot like these ladies, just because since I still work full time and I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to focus on my static listing still. But I do the Friday night YouTube sales with these ladies, or a couple of these ladies. And since it's just one evening a week, it doesn't really disrupt my schedule too much. I just kind of Friday afternoon sort out what I'm going to do and then prepare for that evening. But I would like to do Whatnot eventually, but just I have to stay diligent and stay on my scaling and growing right now before I tackle something new completely.
All right, so I'll keep mine pretty succinct and pretty focused on scheduling, because that's my focus in life, is routines and schedules and balance. So I always tell people, add one thing at a time and adjust yourself to that and get used to it, and then add the next thing. So I added 10th and Main in September on Friday nights. And we were all hanging out on Friday nights anyway. We would do Zoom calls and drink and have snacks and talk.
We literally said, let's make some extra money doing this.
Let's try to make money while we're hanging out and, just having girl time. So I added that. And when I got used to that, on Black Friday, I added an afternoon show. And then when I got accustomed to that, I added a Monday show. And I'll be adding Wednesday nights next week in February as a February goal. How I work it into the schedule is I don't plan or catalog. I don't do any of that. I had tried Whatnot 2 or 3 years ago, and I quit because of that. It was just too overwhelming, too stressful, 2 hours to plan it and get ready, 2 hours to do it. I'm like, I could have listed 100 items in those 4 hours. It was such a waste. It was a colossal waste of time, I felt. And that was when Keith was helping me. So it was 2 people doing it. So it was almost double. Like if it's double the manpower, if we were spending 4 hours, it was 8 hours of work. So we quit. But when I heard it changed, I came back. Now here's what I do. I bring a box of jewelry, I cut it open, I open it, and I just start pulling stuff and running it. I don't prepare, I don't plan, I just unbox. I have a bag of DVDs from my own entertainment center that I cleaned out that I don't want anymore. I drag the bag over and just pull them out and run them. And when I add the third show, it's going to be plush. They're just being pulled out of a bin at random. I'm not going to plan. Because like Kat said, if I show up with a box, cut it open, and go for half an hour and nothing happens, I can leave. It's not a colossal waste of time. If it's popping and people are buying, I can stay longer. So I would suggest just unboxings and the non-planned shows that Kat doesn't like. But a lot of other people seem to like them, to be fair. So,
I just don't have much time. So like it's so hard for me. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but I think there is like a certain audience that like the unboxings. They're watching.
For sure.
Yeah. So how many items are we listing a day?
So for me, lately it's been averaging just 10 to 20. Before it was 20 to 50, but with the live selling thrown in, that really kind of pulls away. But we're focusing on $50 and higher items. So me listing 10 items is listing $500 worth of items. Typically, if not more, I would say I'm probably averaging $100 items. So I'm listing, I like to focus more on dollar amount, and I try to list at least $1,000 and stuff a day, whether that's 10 or 20. And then I've been doing live sales almost every day. And most of the live sales we sell an average of 100 items for like collectibles, salt and pepper shakers. So that's not, I'm listing it while I'm doing it, but static. Oh, and that's to 4 or 5 marketplaces too. So you got to figure 10 on the 4 different platforms. So I just still count it as 10, even though really 40 listings are, going up.
Okay, before I answer, I want to know how much time you spend on shipping every day.
I don't. I pay somebody to ship.
How much time do they spend? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, so with the Whatnot shows, I actually just hired another part-time person. She's coming back in tomorrow. She came one day. We were worried she wouldn't come back because it was after 3 big live sales. When I do like the 150 salt and pepper shakers and we have a regular weekend, it'll take both of us 6 hours of shipping. 2 people. I have to come out and help her. So that's why I hired the second person. She's basically just going to be to help ship because of the live sales, because what's happening, not only can I not list, but my employee who drafts all the listings for me to price and research can't list either because she's shipping. So the live sales definitely kind of throw a kink into it. And the mistake I made in 22 and 23 with Whatnot is I ignored eBay. And my eBay right now, my 90-day totals at 55,000. I really want to hit 60,000. I don't want to lose it. I want the Whatnot to be an addition, not knock it down, which is what it did in 22 and 23. And I ended up like Karen's, sterling right now is so expensive to buy. I can't, like, I'm doing mainly costume. I do have sterling I will pull out I wanted to say I started doing like separating into bracelets, brooches, necklaces myself, and I have little bags. But I want them to be equal. I don't want one to overtake the other. And I think that's why I quit Amazon, because I feel like Amazon and eBay are giant beasts and I could not do either of them well if I was doing both. And so the key for me is finding where I can do Whatnot and eBay well, because they're both good platforms and they work together, especially if you buy like I do. Like I buy lots. So I'm just putting like the cream of the crop is what's going on eBay and Etsy, and everything else goes to Whatnot for $3. Even if it's a $40 item, I don't care, because I pulled those high items out of the lots. So yeah, I had to have help, and we need the third person, because if not, like, that's why my amount I'm listing a day has went down so far, because I'm having to help ship. She's shipping all day and not listing. And yeah, that's what I'm really trying to avoid, because eBay's doing so well. Like, if eBay wasn't doing good, that would be one thing, but eBay's doing very, very well. And I don't want that to go in the trash, which it did in 22.
Not this year, right?
No.
Right.
No, I'm hanging so far. We're making it.
Good.
She doesn't like salt and pepper shakers, though. My employee hates them. I've only got about 300 left. I bought 1,500. I bought somebody's whole collection from an estate sale. Yeah.
Well, I'd heard that about live selling, is that the shipping can be all consuming sometimes. So I was curious about that. So we're keeping going on the how many items do you list a day? I list 50 a day. I have for several years, 7 days a week. I do have the help of VAs that do that. So they're not using scheduling or anything. They just do it every day. They could use the scheduling features on the platforms, but they've chosen not to. So they're just going up 7 days a week. And my ASP is lower. My ASP is probably about $30, maybe a little under 30. So for me, if I want to make decent money, I have to list more in quantity. So that's why I do that. Where I live, it's interesting. It's tougher to get great stuff. I have to order it from liquidation places and auctions and things. Kat does that too. She orders. I think you get a lot of stuff from auctions, and you're in a more rural area, aren't you, in Florida?
Very, very rural.
So she understands. It's a unique position, but anyway, 50.
Okay, I vary with what I list because I am still doing a lot more on Walmart. And right before we started, I probably listed 20 items in about 15 minutes. I've started a rule: if I buy something, I've got to list it within 2 days after I buy it. All right. And that has really been working well. I am blowing through making listings. I like to go thrifting, and Wednesday morning is my thrift day. And then I go with Star and the girls. We go once a month to Goodwill. And it's like no more letting it sit there in the car for a month and riding around with it. Bring it in the house, and I am going to get that listed within
I have stuff in the car from August. From August.
Now I have to know what it is.
It's really working out. And so it just varies. And I can't use this perfectly to cross post to Walmart or to Amazon. So, it just varies. Like today, I've been sorting because I'm having a couple jewelry shows, and I bought some stuff Wednesday and it's already sorted. And like I said, I got some stuff today. I went out because the roads cleared up a little bit, and that is just pretty much all listed. I listed everything that I bought today. So that's my new rule, and it's working out really well for me.
Me? Well, with me doing full-time work still, I'm juggling, but I try to do a minimum of 5 new listings a day. And then I try to touch 5 to 10 old listings. And then weekends, I'll throw up 15, 25, just however, if I'm in a groove. I think we all use List Perfectly for cross-posting. So that includes cross-posting to Poshmark, Depop, eBay, Mercari, Etsy, if it's vintage and in that category. I'm not putting everything over on Depop since it's more of a curated thing. And since actually Kat brought me over to List Perfectly, and that's how I joined this little crew. I used to, and I think Crystal, it was you or Desiree who told me, since I used to just post directly from Poshmark, all of those that got pushed over early, all the images have been compressed. So I've been pulling back out that old stock, retaking the photos and updating the eBay listings, and stuff is selling. And I'm like, is that really all that it was? Just these stupid compromised photos. But I am getting that older stuff out the door. So, but that's what it varies. But that's what I try to do, a minimum of 5. But I juggle this and my job. So I was like, I'm trying to get more done because I am really trying to scale up this year. And I do want to talk to you, Crystal and Gina, about maybe bringing in a VA, because I think that could get me pushing out some more, and then having them do the listing, leave it in drafts. I sign off on it and then I list it. So I think that would be helpful.
I'm going to answer the question, but first I'm going to speak up in my own defense. I live in Pittsburgh. It gets really cold. We get snow, we get ice. I don't thrift in the winter. So I over thrift in the autumn, and I bought 250 pounds of clothes from one friend and 5 boxes of clothes from another. And so that's in the garage / laundry room, and all the bags from August, September, and October in the car, because we haven't gone thrifting since, because guess what? It's cold. Okay,
It's snowy and bad.
Yeah, but this hasn't happened since 17 years ago. What's going on right now is really rare. But I'm a weenie. If it's below 60, I don't want to go out. If it's above,
that's a Tuesday up where I live.
So, I list weird. I have 21 days scheduled out on eBay. I have a bank of 300, and I push out from that each day. I try to push out 15 on 6 platforms, give or take. I don't do that many on Depop because I don't like Depop. You heard me. And
I said what I said.
I said what I said. I try to do from the bank like 15 to 20 on the main platforms each day. And that includes Whatnot. I've been doing well with static ones on there. And then I have just time blocks each day where I rephotograph and rebuild more listings to replace what I used from the bank. And this works for me because a lot of things have happened out of my control in the last few years, and my business didn't know that because listings were still going up. Listings were scheduled, and I could come back and reschedule, and eBay never knew that I took a month off. Like it really works for me. And then so does hoarding. I hoard only in the winter.
You squirrel.
Yeah, I saved my little nut. And I also, did buy out 2 friends, which was weird that it was that much at one time. Speaking of, oh my goodness, I had the question pulled up. Okay, it was Gina. She wanted to know about VAs. So whoever has VAs can answer this question. Just how to utilize them, how you found them, how you pay them, what you feed them. I don't know. I don't have a VA. Do you feed them? Do you feed them or they get mad? Or can you not feed them after midnight? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not good. She does that listing.
Kat, do you have VAs?
I do not.
Okay, I can go ahead then. I do have VAs, and I've had their help for 4 years now. I found both of them through a website called Upwork. There's other websites like Fiverr that contractors list them, their services on. So on Upwork, you can hire a math tutor, or you can hire a software engineer, and you can also hire VAs for reselling. And there's a lot of them out there. Thousands of people that do VA work for resellers and for other types of businesses. So one of our friends that we are in mastermind meetings with has had a VA for her real estate business for years. So there's a lot of things they can do for you, but I found mine through Upwork. You can just place an ad for what you want help with, and then people will respond to that, or you can invite talent that you find on there to apply for your job. And then you can interview. There's a Zoom feature. You can ask for examples of their work. I would suggest that if you're looking at hiring somebody, to look at things they've done, look at listings that they've written. And even better, if you have a friend who's in reselling that has a VA and that person has extra time, you can get somebody who's kind of pre-trained, and that would save you a lot of time. and money to find somebody who's already, especially I think most of us are List Perfectly users. If you can find somebody who has experience with the software that you're already using, it's a huge bonus if they know how to use that, which in my case, both of the VAs that I hired had minimal experience with List Perfectly. So it did help right off the bat. Find somebody who, a lot of times these people are in foreign countries, find somebody who has a good grasp of English and maybe doesn't speak fluently but can write well in English, because those are two different skill sets for sure. But to have somebody who writes a good listing is important. So just be prepared when you hire somebody that it's going to take a while to train that person and get them really up and running to the point that you feel comfortable with. So just be ready financially for that, and then time-wise for that. You can't expect somebody to come in and just hit the ground running and do everything exactly the way you want. So it takes a number of weeks or maybe a couple of months to get the person trained to your satisfaction. But once you do, it's really a pretty effortless relationship, or it has been for me with the two people that I have. They've been just totally amazing assets to my business. And I wouldn't have been able to grow to the size that I am without their help. So I know a lot of people hire per listing on those types of platforms. I chose to pay per hour, and it's worked out fine for me with those two. I don't know if I'd do it differently again, but I know for good reasons, a lot of people will just pick an amount per listing for whatever task that person's doing, whether it's drafting the listing or cross-posting. Some VAs charge maybe 50 cents per listing to cross-post, or they'll charge $1 per listing to draft it. And so you just have to work with that person. They all charge different amounts. You can find somebody who fits your budget and has the skill set that you want. But I have one person that does drafting and kind of proofing, because I use AI a lot for drafting nowadays. She used to write everything from scratch. Now with Listing Assistant, it pretty much writes it. She just proofs everything, gives it a human once over, and maybe finds a stock photo or something if I want that. And then the other VA does all the cross posting. So I don't have all my eggs in one basket, and I like it that way in case somebody decides to, fly the coop and I need to pick up those duties myself. I want to keep those duties divided for that reason.
I'd just like to add, if you are a List Perfectly user and you are looking for a VA, as Crystal mentioned, it's worth looking at their, the listing party has a section where you can see who's looking for work on the back end. And then you're getting somebody who's compatible with LP, and they're usually vetted, at least by Trish. Somebody knows them, and they're on that list of people that are looking for extra work on.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You just go to listing party, and then there's, I don't remember what it's called, but you'll see it. I promise. It's self-explanatory. You'll see it. And it pulls up a list of LP users who are looking for work. Okay. Are you pulling old listing inventory to put in a live show, or segregating items as you process them for one platform or the other? From our friend Kelly.
For me, hi Kelly. Kelly got tons of postcards from me. I have typically not pulled off of eBay because I was a list it and forget it, and then somewhere in the middle of last year decided I want my store to be cut in half. I have almost 9,000 items. I want to have it down to 5,000 by the end of the year, with more valuable items, like worth more but less items. And so with that, I have been pulling items. A lot of them are getting pulled and given away, but like the license plates, I would say the average is $15. And I'm starting them at $3. I started with 1,200 4 years ago. We had about 200 left, and now we're down to about 100. Those I pulled off of eBay because I was just ready to clear them out. I made my money on the lot. I didn't care that I was starting them at $3. I sold some today that were listed for $100, and I did kind of cringe. I did cringe as I started them at $3, and one of them I think only went for 3. But I just, I know I made my money. And then my purses, I did the same thing. If they were listed over a year, I put my purses, and same thing. I put a $90 Michael Kors on there for $3. And when my regular buyers get it, I'm happy. And one of them did, and she got it for like $24. But so I'm really trying to get like the total item count down. And so with the purses and the license plates, I did pull off of eBay to put into Whatnot, but 90% I buy just for Whatnot, because I don't want people to think I'm just selling stuff that I can't sell. That's my biggest thing. I know Whatnot started as that. A lot of people were trying to move their stale inventory from eBay, and I don't want that. I'm only putting items I think are worth way more than I'm starting them at. And I source jewelry specifically for Whatnot. I can source, I got like 200 pounds delivered last week. And I just pull the items that are $50 or higher. I miss some because I sort very, very fast when I have that much jewelry. And if I put it up, I run it. I had like a Tiffany necklace. If I show something, I'm going to run it. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, that's a Tiffany necklace, and pull it. So that was a couple months ago. I didn't catch a Tiffany. It didn't go super high either. It was just like a regular plain chain though. It wasn't like anything fancy. And I'm looking at the tag and I'm like, oh, it's Tiffany, and go, okay. Oh, okay.
$5, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, and the people that know me, I think, can hear my intonation when I'm like, oh, okay. Because again, if I put it in the front of the camera, I'm gonna sell it. And so yeah, so I would say 90% of what goes on Whatnot is sourced for Whatnot. And I am separating by items that are worth $50 or more get put on the platform static, and items worth less than 50 go on Whatnot for $3. Don't ask me why I have to start everything at $3. I just do. I don't know why. So it doesn't matter what it is. I started at $3, and yeah, I source specifically for that, but that's because I'm pulling, like, I might have pulled 4 $50 items that pay for that whole lot. So I don't care if people get it really cheap. I'm happy for them. I get to keep buying tons of jewelry and finding the good stuff, which is the fun part of it. And yeah, so I believe wholeheartedly in sourcing specifically for the live sales.
I guess we're skipping. I can't speak. We're gonna skip Crystal because she doesn't do the live show. That was
Correct.
Not yet.
I wouldn't have anything valuable to add.
That was very hard for me to say.
And pretty much when I take something off, and typically it were things that I was selling on Amazon or Walmart. I'll give you an example. I was a very big health and beauty seller on Walmart, and I had over 300 listings that they gated the entire category. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Well, thank God I have Whatnot. So that is pulled off of Walmart and going on Whatnot. All right. I will never put it back. If I pull something from any of the platforms like Amazon, eBay, whatever, I will never put it back on there or leave it in duality. It just goes off and it gets liquidated on Whatnot. On the jewelry, I do buy a lot of my jewelry for Whatnot. And again, the higher end pieces, I kind of do what Kat does. I just list them on eBay or Etsy, doing really well on eBay with the jewelry lately. And I never thought to do what she said, like just pull those out, see if you get your money back on those, and then just liquidate at $3. So I think that's a really
And you can buy so much. You can buy so much because I'm
and
like,
I it's the thrill is buying. You know, it's just like you're addicted to buying.
Yeah.
And so I am going to kind of try that. You solved my issue there.
Well, because if you pay $200 for a lot, you find 4 pieces worth $50. That just paid for everything, and it might have 200 pieces. So if people get $20, $30, $40
Right.
pieces, that's fine. You know, it's already paid for. So I think it benefits everybody. And again, the fun part is searching through it and finding the good things.
Yeah. So you just spark something in me. It's going to cause me to spend more money.
Bye. I had to make myself stop for a month. I'm back buying, but I'm being a little more picky. But I'm doing so many sales now, it's okay. That's the nice thing too. I know if I do more sales, I can buy more.
Yeah. Mallory?
I was like, since we're just doing the Friday night sales, I don't particularly source just for the live sales. A lot of what I've shown, I did a couple of haulaways at the yard sales at the end of midsummer last year, and that's what I've been selling a lot in our live sales. So when I get to that point, I'll listen to Kat. She knows what she's talking about.
So I've just been doing my jewelry a little bit different. I buy a box to open on the Whatnot or the Friday nights, and I'll run it through a few, maybe even a whole month as it dwindles down. And then I get a new box, and whatever's left, I list. And so it's an unboxing the first time I cut it open. And then that show I can kind of see and kind of like slide stuff aside, like, oh, that needs listed. And then whatever's back in that box, I'm okay. And as I go through the box, through the month, it gets lower and lower, and I'm sliding things aside. But when it gets low enough, I just list everything in it and start a new box. The only other shows I'm really doing are DVDs, which I said it was spring cleaning. We cleaned out. Apparently, I don't know what I buy. So I had like 5 copies of every Halloween and 8 copies of every Friday the 13th and 3 sets of Leprechaun. I had every horror movie known to man times 12 and 8 else with Will Ferrell. So like, we got to clean this out, man. And so that I didn't even source. And the plush I'm going to be doing just to clearance out. And Friday nights, I just kind of do whatever. Like I actually have a stack of books here I was going to take to the secondhand bookstore. I just pulled them out one night and started going through them. I just kind of do whatever I'm in the mood for. So I guess the short answer is no, I don't source specifically for live shows. I just do whatever I feel like. And I think that I have to do that because of the reasons I quit 2 years ago. Now for me to continue doing it, I have to still be having fun and not spending a lot of time and just kind of going with the flow.
You guys are making this sound like semi-fun. Makes me want to do it.
But I love doing live sales. I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do. I like the Friday nights better than Whatnot because I'm not quite at the level where I have a lot of people in every show. So sometimes Whatnot feels like I'm just talking to myself, and it can be crickets.
I don't get a ton, so I lost a lot. Like when I first started in 22 and 23, I would have 100 easy in the chat, and like tonight I think we average like 20. And I think a lot of that is like I quit doing it for a while, and then I had an employee. It wasn't me, and a lot of people wanted me. And then when I came back, they were used to the employee, not me. Like they didn't know who I was. So it's kind of been, I think the consistency thing is the biggest thing. Like I try, and I didn't say it earlier, but I always try and make sure, like I did license plates tonight, that I have another license plate show scheduled, because the license plate buyers probably don't want my jewelry. And I know that some of them might, but most, like the guys aren't going to come to my jewelry and collectibles show. They just want license plates. So I make sure I have another one scheduled. Same thing, like tomorrow I'm doing jewelry. I'll make sure my next jewelry show, so you can tell them to book it. But I'm only averaging between 20 and 30. And I'm still like, you really only need 2 good buyers in there that like the same thing. I've learned.
She says I average 3 people.
Well, you only need 2 of them to like the same thing. That's all you need.
I sell something most every show, but it is fun, even though there's only 3 people. But I was just going to say, I like our Friday nights better because we have our own format where we're 2 on at a time. So you have someone with you to banter with while you're selling and talk to and to help moderate. So if it is crickets in the chat, you're not like, so anyway, Star, how's your day going? Oh, it's great. You gonna go like shovel the snow tomorrow? Yeah. What do you think about that? Like you're just talking to yourself.
Multiple personalities.
That's what I said. God knows what'll come out of my mouth if I'm on not by myself, just yammering and rambling on. Like I don't trust myself in that room alone.
I don't.
So.
You know, and I say things like, "Hey, welcome in, Val. Glad. Oh, you've already left. I guess you didn't like my face. See you next time."
And I was gonna say, Kat, I haven't opened my bags yet that I got from you last week. I was like, oh yeah. Speaking of bags, I bought some of her bags.
I know. Yeah, like somebody told me those bags are evil. And I didn't know it. They said they make fluff so you have to let me know if it's really evil.
No, this one came for, but your package, they don't take long to get to me since you're just going from Florida up to Atlanta, but it looks safe right now. I think as long as they don't get wet.
Yeah,
I think if you rip it the wrong way, the stuff comes flying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that's why, they were like, I hate those things. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Laura's trying to open it. I need to move it away from her.
I don't hate them because they're free.
I like free things. Can you bulk change shipping to 2 days from 1 day on eBay?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. You can do up to 2,000 listings at the same time.
Mm-hmm. If you have if you have business policies, right? Or how does that work?
Nope, I don't. I am anti-business policy, and I have bulk edited all kinds of things.
Cat.
I
never had them, huh?
Nope, never will.
I'm sorry, I got excited. Somebody said it's 9 in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, where are you in Pennsylvania? Because in Pittsburgh, it's like 6. It's warmer and it's not fair. I do tutorial Tuesdays on my channel, just putting it out there. So the answer to this question is yes. But if this is something you would like to see, you can go on one of my Tuesday videos and say, hey, Star, can you show us your tutorial on how to bulk change shipping to 2 days for 1 day? And I'll more than happily do that. Because my favorite thing in the world is listing and doing tutorials. Those are my two. Let's ask everyone. Name your top 2 favorite things from this job.
Not getting an $1,100 return that I just got.
I saw that
Chanel suit. Yeah. Doesn't fit. $1,100 suit.
Oh no. Yeah.
I think though, if it goes through authentication, it has to go back through it. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, little suckers.
That person is a turd, and you should feel like a turd.
I can deduct. They probably wore it for one night, and then now they're returning it.
Yeah.
Favorite 2 things: buying and buying. No, buying and when you buy it and when you sell it, that's like the best thing. Cause like that lovely suit that sold for $1,100, I paid $400 for, that will be coming back. I like it, the treasure finding. I like digging through the stuff, like digging through jewelry is like my favoriteest thing in the whole wide world. Tyler's going tomorrow. I'm clapping like a 5-year-old. My boyfriend's going to pick up tomorrow. I won 2 laundry baskets full of jewelry. Laundry baskets, 25 pounds, and then a whole bunch of other lots. And I didn't pay that much. And he's going down to South Florida to pick it up for me in the morning. So I'm excited. So I'll have more. I finished going through my 200 pounds already, and I have more coming.
My goodness.
That's fun.
I think buying is the reason most of us start doing this. I mean, the thrill of the hunt, and I don't even get to do it very much anymore because I am buying in bulk. The picking each thing was just so fun for me. I love buying, obviously. I love selling equally as much. Just to be able to make money doing this is unreal. Like, I still can't believe that I get to do this for a job. So it's wonderful. Those are kind of one thing together. The second thing for me is the freedom that this job allows me to have. I can just, go on a trip, or I can go to my kids' wrestling match, or I can twist off early at 3:00 and go to my hair appointment if I want to. Yes, we work hard, but it also you know, we work nights and weekends sometimes, but it allows a level of freedom that not many jobs do. And so that's the second reason I really love it.
And I like to buy. I really enjoy finding a deal. And then I love when something sells. It's the thrill of the sale. I don't care if it's a $2 sale. I am just so excited when I get a sale. So that's the two best things for me: buying and actually selling something.
I think for me, I like the sustainability part of it. I was raised by hippies, so I love the fact that I'm digging stuff out and saving it and getting feedback. Like at Christmas, I got one. I'd found these two like brass pineapple like bookends, and she wrote me and said that her grandfather worked at that factory. She bought them for her mom as a Christmas present, and like her mom started crying Christmas morning. Like she wrote me feedback, and then she wrote me a personal note in Poshmark. And we don't get those little things all the time, but when you do, you're like, I'm glad like I found that thing, and you know it went to a good home. So that's fun. And then yeah, obviously the thrill of the hunt. And since I'm not on your scale and not taking 6 hours to ship, I like shipping because I'm like, yeah, I can get the cycle and it's going out the door.
Come here for one day. You'll be like, never mind.
I know. You're like, come down here and see how you like it. So yeah, I was like, this sustainability part is a big part of it for me too. This my little nook of the world. I'm doing something good, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So,
I have to actually. I like listing. I am probably the only reseller in the whole world that does not like thrifting, but could sit here for 16 hours and list on a computer. It's my favorite. Maybe I should hire myself out as like a VA for other people because it is my favorite. And I love that I get to be in my pajamas every day.
I'm in my pajamas too. Always.
I take a shower in the morning and put new pajamas on every day. And I get to watch true crime and horror movies and just live my life, and no one's bugging me, and I can take breaks when I want, and I can rearrange my schedule. Is the freedom, I guess. But for me, it's just the biggest thing is I like computer work. It's just the way my head works, and to sit here in my pajamas and just be in the zone is like the awesome part for me. But I also really like teaching, which is why I even have a YouTube. I love doing tutorials and stuff like that. That's fun for me.
Yeah, that's me too. And I have to say though, so I really only thrift for content. So you liking your computer stuff is me searching through online auctions to find those good jewelry lots. So I'm the same way, like the finding it. And for me, it's not thrifting. I like I said, I thrift for just content and fun, but you could not sustain a business the size of mine by thrifting. There is no way. I sustain it by online auctions, and the looking and finding it's same thing. I can sit for 16 hours and looking at an auction and be happy. And people are like, oh, it's nice, but like, they're like, how do you find lots? I'm like, I scroll for like 8 hours. Like I just keep looking. It can take a lot of time to find the good lots.
It's just where you want to spend your time, whether you want to spend it out thrifting or in
I don't
thrifting.
want to people.
Or I don't like to in or out thrift, so I just okay, that looks like a huge lot. Just bring it here, and I'll sit here and list and photograph. That's where I spend my time. So it's just how you want to spend your time. This is a really good tip. I don't know that eBay would hold this up and give you the backing.
I don't think they would, because like she said, it didn't fit. So she would have to take whatever that is off to try it on. She's saying it doesn't fit. And I will tell you, and I will tell on myself, I stole the auctions pictures because they did such detailed measurements on the suit. So I know that like there were way, way more measurements than I would normally do on that thing. So for her to say it doesn't fit, and for somebody to spend $1,100 on a suit, it just sounds a little fishy. But I mean, I had it at $1,500. I had somebody else interested. So for all I know, a lot of times those things come back and then they sell at full price, and it is what it is. It's part of the business. It just sucks because it's $1,100.
That one does hurt.
She says she makes it so that they can try it on, but they wouldn't wear it to prom or something that way. So they would
Like up on the strap or something.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, you got to tell us how.
Because, yeah, you can try it on, but I mean, I'm going to tell you, don't do this. It's wrong. But I have known people in life who would buy something and tuck the tags in and wear it.
Right, and then you wear it and you take it back.
Oh, we all know tag tuckers. We all know them.
Tag tuckers, those
Tag tuckers.
that rhymes, but
I'm not even buying it new. I buy everything.
It sounds like a swear word, but it's not.
So
Tucker.
let's do this. Who does 30-day refunds on the Bay?
I do, because they're going to make you do it anyways. Why not?
Yep.
And my fees are so much. I think last year I showed like my eBay fees last year were like 40,000. And when you get 10% off of that, it adds up. And the returns don't typically add up to that. They are not typically $1,100 like tonight. And so I do free 30-day returns, because if they open, Trish, you're crazy, 60 days. If they open it not as described, eBay's going to force your hand anyways. So you might, I feel like you might as well.
That's how I feel too. You may as well get top rated seller if possible, and the discount on your fees. So I have offered 30-day returns, free 30-day returns for a long time. I mean, every time I get a return, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of makes your stomach sink. But not $1,100 suit every day, thank heavens. I had a Louis Vuitton purse that was a real mess. It was a return this last year, and so I know that feeling. It came back damaged though, and it was a whole deal. But anyway, yeah.
It didn't come back through authentication though?
Oh yeah, it did. And
so what happens? I would like to know. Like, did they just send it back damaged? Did you have proof?
Damaged, and said that the pictures that I had taken didn't show that particular area. It was like under a tab by the handle. It wasn't like that when I sent it. And I know it wasn't, but they just sent it back through to me anyway. And in fact, then they took the money back out of my account before it even reached me upon return. They took it out the day before the return.
I think that happened to Rod with the Louis Vuitton bag as well. Like over 3,000. I think it was 3,500.
Yes. So I ended up going back and forth with the authentication team several times. They issued me, I think, a $400 credit or refund back to me to get it repaired, which it would have cost $800 or $900 to repair it. So I ended up just selling it damaged, like relisting it, pointing out the damage, and it all shook out. But it stung for sure. It wasn't a good one. But that's like the worst. That's a horror story. But in general, returns are a good idea, I think. And like you said, they will force you to do it anyway, because a buyer will say that it wasn't as described, and then you have to take it anyhow. So
Karen, how do you do your returns?
I don't do that. So knock on wood, I've only had like 1 or 2 returns. And if somebody wants to return it, I don't deny it, but I don't encourage them to return either. And you guys are talking about that $1,100 suit and all your Vuittons, and I just got something back from Poshmark where I think somebody's trying to switch a size on me, because I'm sure I sent the right size because it was so little. And I said, who would ever wear this dress? It's so little. And I looked at the tag to make sure, and they're trying to say that I sent an extra large, not a small. It's like, nah. And she didn't send back. All she sent back was on the top of the dress, like the extra large tag. And I go, it was brand new with the tags attached. I said, show me the tags attached. I want to see that. So
have they granted the return yet?
it just happened now.
Okay.
Don't get me on
Why is
Posh.
bad things happening during my show?
Yeah, I don't want to look at my phone now. Like, what am I
Nobody's ever gonna want to come on my show again. They're like, we can't come on there. We get returns when we're on your show.
$1,100 returns.
That sucks. I mean, mine was like $20, and I'm
I
feeling
want
that.
people to get some things while they're on here. This is crazy. Valerie, how do you handle your returns?
I do 30 days, but I do where they have to do the paid shipping. I might just go ahead and go to free shipping this year just to see if I can get that extra discount. Me being mainly clothing, I feel like you have to as a clothing person. Like, you're going to get them either way. And I would rather just get hit with a return than an INAD and then force it back to me. So, yeah. Got to.
That comment was just so funny. I had to laugh. But I think Crystal and I had talked about this in our last Was Perfectly Zoom call we hold together. And you were surprised. But honestly, I do free returns. And when someone messages me that they don't like something or didn't fit, I have a cookie cutter response. I'm sorry you're not happy. We offer free returns for customer satisfaction. Open a return. We'll refund you when we get the item. And 1 out of 10 opens a return. And of the people that actually open the return, 5 of them will just sit there until they time out and they never send it back.
Yep.
So my theory is I offer the free return. So on the front end, when they're purchasing, it's giving them the confidence that I back up my products. I trust in my products enough that I'm offering free returns. But on the other end, they either are trying to pull a fast one and get like a partial return or partial refund or a free item. And when I'm like, no, I'm going to enforce this, they're like, forget it. Then I'm not returning it. So I think it's a win-win. Or people just forget, they get busy and I don't know how they miss that deadline, y'all. They get like 1,383 days to send their return back. It's crazy.
I miss Amazon ones because I can't get the dang labels to print. Like, I printed them so many times and now all of a sudden I can't get them to print. So I have Amazon returns that I didn't return.
My return address is the Domino's down the street. I would be so fat. When you sell a lot of clothes, I mean, even with the percentages of how many people, I get 1 return a week, maybe. I would have to go once a week, and you have to get pizza if you go to Domino's. Karen and I love Domino's, but just kidding. No, because once it's registered that it's been checked in, like I use a P.O. box. Once that return is checked in at the P.O. box, I'm supposed to refund them. That's when my 3-day timer starts. So that you can use a different address, but you still get your 3-day timer. And that's what I don't like, the 300,000 days they get versus my 3 days. Like, you better get to the post office and get that and inspect it and refund them within 3 days.
But you can, and I was surprised, and it was the first time I used it. I had somebody switch out a Tiffany & Co. trinket box. And I knew because they were a ding-dong. And first they messaged me and told me they needed a lid. They were looking for a replacement lid. So they were the only ones that they wrote me that. And then they got it and told me it was not authentic. And I'm like, yes, it is. And then they returned it. And I actually filed so if you have an issue with it, do not issue the refund. You click on report buyer, which is what I did. And eBay actually gave me all of the money back for that Tiffany & Co. box. And they let the buyer keep theirs. That was the first time I'd really pushed it. Like, if you sell something new with tags, it comes back to you damaged, you can't get the money for it. eBay is supposed to give you that 100% by their seller guarantee too, if you can prove it. And that was the first time I tried it, and they gave me all my money back for the Tiffany & Co. box. So I was impressed with it. I wouldn't say overuse it because they're going to look at how many times you've done it, but they gave me all of it back, which was nice.
That is nice. Because I don't think I've ever won anything with them.
Yeah,
I sold
not eBay.
I sold a iPod for parts or not working once. Well, I shouldn't say it was back when he was here because I don't do electronics. When he left, electronics had to go. But he, when you used to be able to sell it for parts are not working, and they knew that so the person that bought it said it didn't work, and I spoke to 10 different eBay reps because I kept calling back. I'm like, someday I'm gonna get somebody that's gonna tell me what I want to hear. And I'm like, why would they be able to return it for not working when it clearly was listed as not working? And they're like, because we have to allow the buyer to have the best experience they can. And I'm like, what about your sellers? And they forced us to take that return. And I was hopping mad. And I made a YouTube about it and everything. And I kept complaining and like tagging eBay on social media. And someone eventually reached out to us and gave us our money back. So I guess the lesson there is if you don't like it, keep calling and get loud. And tag them on social media. I didn't
have to fight that one. It was
they don't want you. They don't want bad press. So I mean, it's like with restaurants too. Like you tag them in social media, you get your.
I should go tag Poshmark.
Tag them.
You should.
On their shirts.
Oh, Poshmark.
They don't want you to, because their buyers look at their social media too, and even as a buyer, it's a turnoff if you see sellers complaining about the platform you're about to buy from.
They're wilding out right now.
Oh, they are.
Poshmark has been wilding out.
They're having a crisis.
For 2 years, they've been having like their midlife crisis.
Well, they're having a bad one right now.
They bought a Porsche. They're going wild.
A Porsche and some plugins.
They went the turkey and got some hair plugs.
Okay, I don't see any more questions in the chat, so I want to ask one more before we go, and I won't answer this. We'll keep it shorter. What is one of the biggest mistakes you see new resellers making that you would like to steer them away from?
I think the biggest thing is not checking sell-through rate. And I was like so guilty of that when I first started my channel. I didn't do it. I didn't teach people to do it. And then you end up with all of this stuff that doesn't sell. And like, I think the biggest thing is they think it's cute and they like it, so it'll sell. And that is really not the case. So I think the biggest thing is not checking sell-through rate. Like I have the luxury of having a lot of space, so I buy lots and I get stuff that doesn't have sell-through rate. But I have the room, and now I'm being more particular about what I do list. But I think not checking it and expecting stuff to sell super fast. They're like, it's been listed for 2 months. And I'm like, I have stuff listed for 2 years. Like, that's why I like doing my what sold videos and telling people like this took 3 years to sell. I mean, I think a lot of people think it's like you buy it, you list it, you sell it, rinse and repeat. And that's really not, even with good sell-through rate, that's not the case. Like 100% sell-through rate is in 90 days. That's not even, that's not even that quick. So that's my big thing.
I think what I see new resellers doing that is the biggest mistake is getting caught up in the minutia, in things that do not matter, that do not make you money, that do not improve your process. But it's like analyzing things to death or trying to make the perfect listing and then only being able to do 2 listings a day because it has to be the perfect listing.
And it's a $10 item.
Right. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to get caught up and get analysis paralysis about every little thing. It just has to be, like our friend Trish says, it just has to be good enough, right? The 80-20 rule just has to be good enough to get it up there, because it's not going to sell if you don't list it. And if you're getting caught up in what all the people on YouTube are telling you to do, or what your friend down the street that maybe sold 3 things on eBay 10 years ago is telling you to do, just list it. And sell-through rate is super important. That's true, Kat. I will second that. But yeah, don't get bogged down in the details that don't matter.
I've seen the new sellers, especially lately, not calling out defects in an item. They're very lackadaisical about it. And I see that especially on Whatnot, to be honest with you. It's a marked difference that I've seen on it. They're not calling everything out. And then you have to put in a case for it. And I just wish they would spend more time examining something before they show it or list it.
Yeah. I'm going to say taking on too much too soon. Like, don't try to get on all the platforms. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start with one or two and try to learn your way around. You don't have to be a master at it, but learn enough to be dangerous. And before you start trying to list everywhere and spread yourself too thin, because if you're not using a cross-listing service or something, I mean, if you start selling things on multiple platforms, with the way that they're getting so strict about these cancellations, you need to stay on top of it. So just don't overwhelm yourself and try to do too much too soon.
I lied. I'm gonna tune in. One of my biggest, okay, I have like 3 soapboxes. Don't race to the bottom. Routine, and time blocking and management, and then the work-life balance. And I think new sellers get so wrapped up in this is new and this is exciting and I really want to build and I want to scale and I want to be and I want to do all these things. And they're doing what Valerie's saying, they're taking on too much. And then they're forgetting from the very beginning to find those really good routines and to find that work balance. And if you start this all over the place, like I'm going to list this shoe and then I'm going to iron these pants and then I'm going to measure this shirt, and you just don't have good batch work in place and time blocks and routines, you're starting off with bad habits that are going to carry through your entire reselling journey, and they're bad habits to start with, and it's easier to start with good habits than replace bad ones later. So keep that in mind. Routines are the cornerstone of success, and you cannot be successful if you don't take time off. So find that balance. Now I just want everyone to tell me where we can find you, and one last piece of wisdom for the folks, for the people.
I am on YouTube, the Nurse Flipper. That's probably the main, and Whatnot. I'm on Whatnot more than I'm on YouTube. Same name though, the Nurse Flipper, no spaces or anything. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is just to have patience, and I'm big on research too. I think if you have research and you know what stuff sells for, be confident in buying. I'm into paying up a little bit more than I used to be, but I think we have the tools to be able to research and know that stuff will sell. So have confidence in your buying if you're researching. That's the main thing.
I can be found just on the platforms. I do have Instagram. I'm not a big social media person. I mostly just list and keep my head down over here. But I think my link tree is in the chat if anybody wants to check out my stores.
We can find you on List Perfectly.
Well, yes, you can. You can find me 5 days a week in List Perfectly's mastermind meetings, which leads into my piece of wisdom, which is to find a community. If you're new to this, if you're not new to this, and you haven't made friends in the reselling community, to find maybe a eBay meetup group or a seller circle that's near you. List Perfectly has an amazing community arm to their company. That's where most of my reselling friends are from. But a community of any kind of resellers, I think, has made a world of difference in my business. I learned most everything that I know about reselling from Mastermind and from other sellers that have been so generous with their knowledge, the way they do things, and it's a great group of people. So that's mine.
My piece of wisdom is never give up. Things, with all these returns, never get discouraged, never get up, never give up. There's another day and you can start all over again. And just keep on trying. No one might be in your shows. No one might be buying anything. It will change. Never give up. Okay. As long as you do the right things, it will work.
And where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can find me on eBay, Etsy, whatnot. You can find me. I have to change my link tree because some of that is going to be updated, but you could start there. I'm easily accessible to you.
Star, can you throw mine in? I just put it in the private chat. I've been putting it in there, but it was under my re-retail one, so it wasn't coming up. Yeah, you can find me all the places. I do have an Instagram. I'm not super active on there. That's a goal this year, is to try to put up a little bit more on there. But yeah, eBay, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark. And a piece of advice would be, if you are still growing or trying to grow, ask your friends and family. Like, everyone always has stuff laying around. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money to get this thing going. Like, ask friends and family, hey, do you have some stuff that you would like to get rid of? Just to try to get a hang of it. Because, I mean, like she said, you might have some things listed for 2 or 3 years. You never know how long it's going to take. And just don't get in too far without making sure that you're just the basic fundamentals, like Star was saying. But yeah, it's super fun. And the community part of it, my business has grown so much in the last year. Just listening in and talking with all these ladies, like, you can pull a little bit of everything from somebody, and I learn new things every single day still. And just having the community part has really, really helped, because it is isolating. You kind of hermit in when you're listing and taking photos and everything. So the community aspect of it has been the best part for me. And I have lifelong friends now out of this. So
yeah, absolutely. I can attest to all of that. Before I give you my thank you speech, I want to remind everyone that I will be back here next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern with guest stars, Sarah Boynton. Everyone likes Sarah Boynton, and my very good friend Megan Mawhinney. And she's not very big on social media, but she has a story to tell. She built a 6-figure business with 2 toddlers by herself, single. So I love her story. I love bringing her on. And then I'll have a special surprise guest. I'm going to sign up my 10th and Main girls through February soon. So thank you for watching. If you were here live and you were participating in the chat and asking questions, that always keeps everything lively and moving. So I do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat early on. Thank you for all the likes. And if you're watching the replay, I appreciate that too. That counts just as much. Every like, every look, every subscription helps me feed all of my hungry hippos. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And to my panel tonight, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy lives to come on here for an hour and a half with me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
And one last thing. Happy birthday, Keith.
Oh, yes. I'll tell him you said so. It is Keith's birthday today. I cradle robbed a 37-year-old. So
Go Star.
I'm only 47, so it's not that big.
You and Trish. Oh, and Kat too, right? Actually,
my boyfriend's 29 and I'm 47. Yeah.
Get after it, ladies.
It's the Cougar Hour on the Hippo Hut.
There's another name for the show.
And you know what? I'm my husband's child bride, so.
Yeah, tell us your ages.
Oh, you don't know. We are
said,
23 years. 23 years difference. He's 23 years older than I am.
Yeah.
My parents were 18 years apart and they were married over 20 years. So
Yeah. It's not, I mean, Keith was raised by his grandparents, so he's very much more mature and has a more mature, he's more mature than me. I'm Gen X. I think farts are funny. And your mom jokes, right? All right. I want to say thank you again and leave.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Bye, everyone.